This is ABC Fora.
Thank you very much, guys. We had that very moving welcome to country earlier from Glenn, and I'm now moved to say that we're going to move quickly from the sacred to the profane. I've been reading Christopher Hitchens' work for many years now. I almost said religiously, but I thought better of that. In the past decade, I've been lucky enough to interview him on many occasions by satellite link from remote studios in various parts of the United States. And because we tend to do that live, for him, where he's sitting, it usually turns out to be some ungodly hour. But, excuse another pun, as we know, Mr. Hitchens is a rather ungodly person. Now, with Christopher Hitchens being the sort of fellow that he is, with a kind of healthy appetites that he has, and frankly that we expect of him, he has on occasion been somewhat the worse for wear during those interviews. There was one particularly memorable occasion when he spent much of the interview doing a very amusing live commentary on the technical expertise of the sound man and the camera crew. That's when I knew that one of his hidden talents was for John Cleese impersonations. Now, there is, I suspect, a very special Hitchens archive somewhere out there in some corner of YouTube, so let me know if you find it, will you? But I have to say, cometh the hour, cometh the man, because no matter how little sleep he's had, no matter what his state of occasional dishevelment is, and no matter how incompetent the studio crew, Christopher Hitchens has always risen to the occasion. He's a man who must be heard and who should be heard. And I may be somewhat biased here, but I regard him as among the handful of public intellectuals in the world who have the capacity to really lead a new public discourse and the courage and the inclination to adopt contrarian positions and defend them with great passion and great subtlety. Moreover, Christopher Hitchens has never, to my knowledge, ducked a debate, although many of his opponents have ducked debates with him, and having seen him in action up close, I frankly don't blame them. I met Christopher for the first time in New York on September the 11th, 2002. It was our job to sit together for a few hours and talk in front of a live camera on a windswept building across from that ghastly hole in the ground where the World Trade Center and its surrounding buildings had 1 year before been amputated from the New York skyline by the actions of a small group of Islamic terrorists. Now, when I was asked by the ABC to go to New York and do the first anniversary broadcast, I had only one condition, and that is, I'll do it if we can persuade Christopher Hitchens to join us. The reason for that was simple. Christopher had thought more deeply and more profoundly about September 11 and its implications than anyone I'd read or heard talking about it at that time, and his own battles with Islamic extremism dated back to the fatwa against his friend, the writer Salman Rushdie. And you can see consistent streams of thought about God and religion flowing through the book that he's here to talk about tonight and the ideas that he's going to talk about tonight. The book is God is Not Great, How Religion Poisons Everything. If you haven't read it, I can tell you that Islam is not the only nor even the primary target. This is not his satanic verses. Christopher is an equal opportunity and multi-faith debunker. So, if you're a Christian, Roman, Catholic, Orthodox or otherwise, if you're a Hindu, if you're a religious Jew, if you're a Muslim, Buddhist, a Gnostic or even just an occasional visitor to a Shinto shrine, you can expect to be offended or at least have your views challenged in ways you perhaps didn't expect. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the podium journalist, writer, lifelong contrarian and militant atheist, Christopher Hitchens.